Hi, we at Occupancy Heroes Incorporated are so glad that you came today to share with us a little about yourself. We hope that you have learned enough about us that you are equally happy you came. It's an exciting time for us here at Occupancy Heroes as we continue to grow. We remain confident in our effort to bring the best talent on board to help us meet two of our goals, which are to serve our customers well and operate in the highest level of integrity. Before you leave us today, we have a very brief presentation prepared by trainers Grace Hill on fair housing that we'd like you to view. Please take note to the information that is being shared, as it will help you understand key areas relating to compliance in this industry.
If you've chosen the apartment industry for your career, chances are you know a lot about fair housing laws. But why are discrimination lawsuits so common? And what can you do to make sure you're never involved in one? You're probably very familiar with the 7 protected classes defined by the Fair Housing Act. You know, race, religion, nationality, color, sex, familial status, and disability status. Chances are good that your state or city has even more protected classes than the federal government. Did you know in Washington, D.C., it's illegal to treat people differently because of their political affiliation? It's true. If you don't know the additional protected classes in your area, find out. In fair housing terms, discrimination means treating someone differently because of their membership in a protected class. And it's against the law. Most multifamily professionals don't intentionally discriminate, but fair housing lawsuits happen, in many cases because people make mistakes. So let's run through Grace Hill's top 10 fair housing mistakes so you can make sure these missteps never happen at your community. Ready? Let's count them down. Number 10, forbidding kids from doing things, like saying children may not ride bikes on the sidewalk. Your rules can't be different for kids or people with kids. They're part of a protected class, familial status. Instead, say no bicycle riding on the sidewalk. Number 9, asking a prospective resident, how many children do you have? This may seem like a polite conversation starter, but you don't want your customer to think you're treating them differently just because of their family size. Number 8, not realizing your state or city has protected classes in addition to the 7 in the Fair Housing Act. You've got to do your research on this one. The HUD website is a great place to start. Number 7, not keeping good records about your leasing tours. Document everything, including the apartments you showed and the rental rates you offered. Number 6, denying a rental application because you had a bad feeling about a customer. That's totally not okay. Stick to your community's qualification guidelines. Number 5, refusing to create a reserved parking spot for a resident with a disability because you have plenty of handicapped parking already. It's always wise to meet a resident's accommodation request if you can. Involve your supervisor before saying no. Number 4, telling a resident they can't have a service animal because you don't accept pets. Listen closely because this is important. A service animal is not a pet. You are required by law to allow them, whether it's a dog, a monkey, or even a miniature pony. Number 3, not realizing that hoarding isn't just the stuff of reality TV shows. It's a disability. Proceed with caution if you discover a resident is hoarding. Talk with your boss at once. Number 2, letting your maintenance team complete service requests in any order they like. To avoid any appearance of preferential treatment, establish a response system and stick to it. And the number 1 fair housing mistake is failing to train everyone who interacts with customers on fair housing requirements. And we mean everyone. Leasing, management, maintenance. If they talk to the public, they need to be trained. Don't let these fair housing mistakes happen to you or your coworkers. Learn more online. And remember, it's hip to be fair.
Hi, I'm here to turn in an application for the 2-bedroom apartment. Do I leave it with you?
Yes, I'm the manager. Actually, if you have a seat and we can review this together today, I really want to get this vacancy filled right away.
Sure, it's my off day and I'm looking forward to moving in soon.
Okay, so this is for 1 adult and 3 children?
Yes.
So are you single?
Recently divorced, but I earn enough income to afford the apartment.
Are you sure? Because the last unmarried single girl I had, she, we're in the 2, she only lasted for 3 months because her ex-husband stopped paying child support. I can't rely on deadbeat dads.
Well, you don't have to worry about me. As you can see from my application, I earn adequate income.
Well, I'm not really sure if I want to take a chance on another unmarried woman with kids, but let me finish reviewing your application.
Okay.
Okay, so you put here that you have a dog. Did you not see the sign that says no pets allowed? If I do decide to accept your application, you're going to have to get rid of that dog, and I don't make any exceptions to that rule.
Well, the dog is an assistive animal, not just a pet. My son has a disability and uses a wheelchair, so he needs the dog daily for emotional support and to assist him with his everyday activities.
Okay, well, I don't really care, and that doesn't matter to me. If I make an allowance for you, to break the rules, then I'll get a lot of complaints from the other tenants. If I make an exception for you, I'm going to have to make an exception for everyone. Besides that, the dog's going to destroy my property, and that's why I don't allow pets here. This is my property. I have the right to make the rules here.
But the law protects persons with disabilities and actually requires landlords to make reasonable accommodations whenever necessary. This might mean changing your policies, practices, or rules. Allowing an assistive animal in a building that has a no-pet policy is actually an example of a reasonable accommodation. And it would be my responsibility to make sure that the dog does not destroy your property.
Well, I will check with my attorney if that's the law or not, but you already sound like trouble to me.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just know my rights. And you should know your rights and responsibilities as well. When you speak to your attorney, you also might want to ask him about discussing marital status. You're not to ask questions or make comments about a tenant or even prospective tenant's marital status.
Okay, I'll get back to you.
Well, thank you. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'm looking forward to moving soon.
We are confident that this information will be helpful to you with any encounters that closely match what you just viewed. Please sign the document that acknowledges you have viewed it and look to hear back from one of our staff in the very near future. Thank you.